fellow pizza lovers, and that includes gluten-free pizza lovers. I've been promising for a few weeks to help our gluten-free pizza eaters help you know how to use this dough. The gluten-free dough is very different from the regular dough. There is not a lot of gluten holding it together, so it tends to be a bit of a challenge to use if you haven't done it before. This video is to kind of walk you through how to use this dough. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get to it. First thing you notice, just like the regular dough, you have flour, gluten-free flour or regular flour, depending on how sensitive you are. Number two, this dough, it's sticky, but it doesn't hold together like a normal dough. So that's kind of the key to this, is recognizing that and kind of respecting that. So the first thing I do is I take a knife and I give it a bit of a loosen out of the container. Now it's not going to come out the same way, well, sort of, but you give it a little slide around, and that's going to help it come out relatively intact. If you leave your dough so that it's a little bit cooler, it can be easier to use, but I personally prefer it at room temperature just because of the way it turns out after the fact. Now, you don't stretch this dough like you do a regular dough. With this one, it's more of a pressing out. And again, you'd like to press it out so that it maintains some of the air bubbles inside of it. So you don't want to just roll it out, but you got to keep it very floured, very, in some sort of semolina, gluten-free flour, whatever else like that. And we do very similar to the other one, except we never ever pick it up and stretch it. The second thing is because of the way gluten-free pizza doughs react when you pick them up, they're going to fall apart. Regular doughs hang together a little bit better. So I'll actually stretch this to the point where I'm ready to transfer it either to a pan or to a pizza peel or something else to transfer. I'll show you this. You don't have to do this. You can do this straight on a pan, but I prefer to stretch my dough out on something that I can then slide it off. So I want this to be fairly thin. You notice I actually transferred it to a pizza peel. You can transfer it to the back of a pizza pan or something else like that. Again, I just did this specifically to give myself a way to transfer it easily to the pan without breaking it. It can be very fragile. It just doesn't hold together normally. But I do like a thinner dough, so I want it to go thin enough that if I try to lift it now completely, it will likely fall apart. Now I'm just making sure that it's not sticking, and it's stuck a little bit, but that's okay. So now I'm going to transfer this to my pizza pan. This is not a perfect circle, but the little bit of practice, anybody can turn it into a perfect circle if that's super important to you. And you know what? Why don't we clean this up just a little bit, make it fancy. There we go. That's it. That's how you stretch it out. At this point now, it's just like our regular pizzas. Top it, little sauce, little cheese, and then we're going to bake it for 5 to 7 minutes, again, depending on your oven temperature, how the heat comes on, whether it's really heavily weighted to the bottom element or the top element, depend on how long the pizza will take. But we'll cook this off, and then we'll take a look at see what it looks like afterwards. is a pizza, gluten-free or not. You'll notice the crust doesn't get super brown. I've seen videos where the crust got really brown and it was in a 900-degree Neapolitan style oven, but despite the crust not getting very brown, there's still tons of flavor here. The topping flavors come out. It is a great, great pizza, and the texture is phenomenal. I don't know if you'll be able to hear this, but listen to the crunch. Like that. That is some crunch. Not super fluffy, but that's a beautiful pie. And it is tasty, tasty. So there you go. That's how to use a gluten-free pizza dough from Trevor's Pizza. Happy to have comments in the video, and if you have any questions, just give me a shout. Always happy to chat pizza of any kind. Happy to talk about toppings, and slowly but surely we'll get more topping sections on the website as well. And yeah, enjoy your pizza. Classic or gluten-free, either way. Thanks.